अथाश्वलायनो भगवन्तं परमेष्टिनम्
अथाश्लयायनो भगवन्तं परमेष्टिनम्
उपसमेत्योवाच
उपसमेत्योवाच
अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मविद्यां वरिष्ठाम्
अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मविद्यां वरिष्ठाम्
तदा सद्भिः सेव्यमानान् निगूढाम्
सदा सद्भिः सेव्यमानां निगूढाम्
यया चिरात् सर्वपापं व्यपोह्य
यया चिरात् सर्वपापं व्यपोह्य
परात् परं पुरुषं याति विद्वान्
परात् परं पुरुषं याति विद्वान्
तस्मै स होवाच पितामहश्च
तस्मै सहोवाच पितामहश्च
श्रद्धा भक्ति ध्यानयोगादवैः
श्रद्धा भक्ति ध्यानयोगादवैः
न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन
न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन
त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः
त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः
परेण नाकन्निहितं गुहायाम्
परेण नाकं निहितं गुहायाम्
विभ्राजते यद्यतयो विशन्ति
विभ्राजते यद्यतयो विशन्ति
वेदान्त विज्ञान सुनिश्चितार्थाः
वेदांत विज्ञान सुनिश्चितार्थाः
संन्यास योगाद्यतयः शुद्ध सत्त्वाः
संन्यास योगाध्यतयः शुद्ध सत्त्वाः
ते ब्रह्मलोकेषु परान्तकाले
ते ब्रह्मलोकेषु परान्तकाले
परामृताः परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे
परामृताः परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे
विविक्तदेशे च सुखासनस्थः
विविक्तदेशे च सुखासनस्थः
शुचिः समग्रीव शिरः शरीरः
शुचिः समग्रीवः शिरः शरीरः
अत्याश्रमस्तः सकलेन्द्रियाणि
अत्याश्रमस्तः सकलेन्द्रियाणि
निरुध्य भक्त्या स्वगुरुं प्रणम्य
निरुध्य भक्त्या स्वगुरुं प्रणम्य
हृत्पुण्डरीकं विरजं विशुद्धम्
हृत्पुण्डरीकं विरजं विशुद्धं
विचिन्त्य मध्ये विशदं विशोकम्
विचिन्त्य मध्ये विशदं विशोकम्
अचिन्त्यमव्यक्तमनन्तरूपम्
अचिन्त्यमव्यक्तमनन्तरूपम्
शिवं प्रशान्तममृतं ब्रह्मयोनिम्
शिवं प्रशान्तममृतं ब्रह्मयोनिम्
तथादिमध्यान्तविहीनमेकम्
तथादिमध्यान्तविहीनमेकम्
विभुं चिदानन्दमरूपमद्भुतम्
विभुं चिदानन्दमरूपमद्भुतम्
उमासहायं परमेश्वरं प्रभुम्
उमासहायं परमेश्वरं प्रभुम्
त्रिलोचनं नीलकण्ठं प्रशान्तम्
त्रिलोचनं नीलकण्ठं प्रशान्तम्
ध्यात्वा मुनिर्गच्छति भूतयोनिम्
ध्यात्वा मुनिर्गच्छति भूतयोनिम्
समस्तसाक्षिं तमसः परस्तात्
समस्तसाक्षिं तमसः परस्तात्
स ब्रह्मा स शिवः सेन्द्रः
स ब्रह्मा स शिवः सेन्द्रः
सोऽक्षरः परमस्वराट्
स्वोक्षरः परमः स्वराट्
स एव विष्णुः स प्राणः
स एव विष्णुः स प्राणः
सकालोऽग्निः स चन्द्रमाः
सकालोऽग्निः स चन्द्रमाः
स एव सर्वं यद्भूतम्
स एव सर्वं यद्भूतम्
यच्च भव्यं सनातनम्
यच्च भव्यं सनातनम्
ज्ञात्वा तं मृत्युमत्येति
ज्ञात्वा तं मृत्युमर्त्येति
नान्यः पन्था विमुक्तये
तान्यः पन्था विमुक्तये
सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानं
सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानं
सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि
सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि
सम्पश्यन् ब्रह्म परमम्
सम्पश्यन् ब्रह्म परमम्
याति नान्येन हेतुना
याति नान्येन हेतुना.
Thank you. Now Sunita can continue. आत्मानमरणिं कृत्वा
आत्मानमरणिं कृत्वा
प्रणवं चोत्तरारणिम्
प्रणवं चोत्तरारणिं
ज्ञाननिर्मथनाभ्यासात्
ज्ञाननिर्मथनाभ्यासात्
पाशं दहति पंडितः
पाशं दहति पण्डितः
स एव माया परिमोहितात्मा
स एव माया परिमोहितात्मा
शरीरमास्थाय करोति सर्वम्
शरीरमास्थाय करोति सर्वम्
त्रियन्नपानादिविचित्रभोगैः
त्रियन्नपानादिविचित्रभोगैः
स एव जाग्रत्परितृप्तिमेति
स एव जाग्रत्परितृप्तिमेति
स्वप्ने स जीवः सुखदुःखभोक्ता
स्वप्ने स जीवः सुखदुःखभोक्ता
स्वमायया कल्पितजीवलोके
स्वमायया कल्पितजीवलोके
सुषुप्तिकाले सकले विलीने
सुषुप्तिकाले सकले विलीने
तमोभिभूतः सुखरूपमेति
तमोभिभूतः सुखरूपमेति
पुनश्च जन्मान्तरकर्मयोगात्
पुनश्च जन्मान्तरकर्मयोगात्
स एव जीवः स्वपिति प्रबुद्धः
स एव जीवः स्वपिति प्रबुद्धः
पुरत्रये क्रीडति यश्च जीवः
पुरत्रये क्रीडति यश्च जीवः
ततस्तु जातं सकलं विचित्रम्
ततस्तु जातं सकलं विचित्रम्
आधारमानन्दमखण्डबोधम्
आधारमानन्दमखण्डबोधम्
यस्मिन् लयं याति पुरत्रयं च
यस्मिन् लयं याति पुरत्रयं च
एतस्मात् जायते प्राणः
एतस्मात् जायते प्राणः
मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च
मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च
खं वायुर्ज्योतिरापः
खं वायुर्ज्योतिरापः
पृथिवी विश्वस्य धारिणी
पृथिवी विश्वस्य धारिणी
यत्परं ब्रह्म सर्वात्मा
यत्परं ब्रह्म सर्वात्मा
विश्वस्यायतनं महत्
विश्वस्यायतनं महत्
सूक्ष्मात् सूक्ष्मतरं नित्यम्
सूक्ष्मतरं नित्यम्
त्वमेव तत्
तत्त्वमेव तत्
जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्त्यादि
जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्त्यादि
प्रपञ्चं यत् प्रकाशते
प्रपञ्चं यत् प्रकाशते
तत् ब्रह्माहमिति ज्ञात्वा
तद्ब्रह्माहमिति ज्ञात्वा
सर्वबन्धैः प्रमुच्यते
सर्वबन्धैः प्रमुच्यते
त्रिषु धामसु यद्भोग्यम्
त्रिषु धामसु यद्भोग्यम्
भोक्ता भोगश्च यद्भवेत्
भोक्ता भोगश्च यद्भवेत्
तेभ्यो विलक्षणः साक्षी
तेभ्यो विलक्षणः साक्षी
चिन्मात्रोऽहं सदाशिवः
चिन्मात्रोऽहं सदाशिवः
मय्येव सकलं जातम्
मय्येव सकलं जातं
मयि सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितम्
मयि सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितम्
मयि सर्वं लयं याति
मयि सर्वं लयं याति
तत्ब्रह्माद्वयमस्म्यहम्
तद्ब्रह्माद्वयमस्म्यहम्
Thank you. Can you still hear me? Okay, so as I was saying, we have completed 19 of these mantras in the Kaivalya Upanishad, which belongs to Atharvana Veda, where there is the dialogue between the Guru, who is Brahmadev, and addressing the student, who is a teacher of Rig Veda, Ashvalayana, who has approached the Guru. Yeah? Now, from the mantras 12 onwards, Brahmadev has given up to 17. Brahmadev has given the Mahavakya Upadesha. Yeah? And we are seeing how intensely we are exploring with this Avasthatraya Prakriya. Yeah? So the Guru has told the Shishya that you are the Avasthatraya Sakshi, and who is none other than Nirguna Parabrahma. No, we saw that Tvameva Tat was repeated in that shloka. Number 16. Tat Tvameva Tat. Tat Tvameva Tat. Yeah. Now, having received the Mahavakya, yeah, now the student Ashvalayana from the shlokas from 18 onwards is expressing his understanding of what was received. No? So being a sadhana chatushtya sampanna adhikari student, which means a really mature and eligible student of Vedanta, now he is presenting his understanding. So what does he say? Trishu dhamasu yad bhogyam bhokta bhogaha cha yad bhavet. O Gurudev, yeah, the three states, the three avasthas, that is waking, dream, and deep sleep, these are the three abodes for Atma. Yeah? And Atma becomes Vishwaha in the waking state, becomes Taijasa in the dream state, and Prajnaha in the deep sleep state. So these three states, avasthas, are like the Dhamma, abode, or we saw earlier, cities, three worlds or Prapancham. And all these worlds, they arise from me, they exist in me, and they fold back into me. Yeah. So, and who is this me that Ashvalayana is talking about? not the Mr. So-and-so or the student Ashwalayana, but is referring to me as the Sat Chit Ananda Swarupaha Avastatraya Sakshi. Yeah? Then in this mantra 18, Ashwalayana says that in all the three states, be it the waking state or dream state or deep sleep state, in all the three, there are experiences. There is an experiencer, there are objects which are experienced, and the experience. We have analyzed all this in the past few mantras. The Vishwaha enjoys in the waking state, in the Taijasa in the dream, and in the deep sleep state, although there is no world, still there is an experience of no experience. I gave you the example of entering a dark room. We experience darkness. Yeah. So the Prajnaha is the sleeper, is experiencing the Anandam or the absence of duality. Yeah. So in this mantra 18, Ashwalayana tells the Guru, Tebhyaha Vilakshanaha. I am distinct from all the three. I'm neither Vishwaha, nor Taijasaha, nor Prajnaha. Why? Because each of the states, they arrive and depart. They are mutually exclusive. Yeah, they negate. One state negates the other two. So how can any of them be permanent? That is not my true identity. Tebhyaha Vilakshanaha. Then who am I? Sakshi Chinmatraha Sadashivaha Aham. This is Ashwalayana's response from mantra 18 onwards to the Guru Upadesha in this Kaivalya Upanishad. So, and the next mantra also, he says, Mayeva Sakalam Jatam, very famous Nididhyasana mantra. That is, all these worlds are born in me, they abide in me, and they fold back into me. Yeah. So that also we saw. But I am Advayam Brahma Asmi Aham. Yeah. I am different from all these. Yeah. Now, these are all very powerful Nididhyasanam mantras. Yeah. For deep contemplation. Yeah. Now, look at the clarity of the understanding of the student, Ashwalayana. Now, such clarity can only come, of course, first of all, one must have the eligibility to take up the study of Vedanta. Then Vedanta itself has the triple sadhana, which is Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. So when we begin Shravanam, then we are exposing our mind to the Shastras, the topic. Yeah. Then what will the Guru say? The Guru teaches the vision of the Shastra, which is, oh, there is that Brahma, which is Nirakaraha, Nirgunaha, Satchidananda Swarupaha, Jagat Karanam, Brahma. This is the stage of Shravanam when, we hear about Tat all the time. In Sanskrit, what is that Tat? Tat is Prathama Purusha, third person. Yeah. So initially we think, oh, Brahma, okay, something really abstract and remote. Yeah. Okay, but interesting. It's awesome, to listen to this Brahmavastu. But then when the Shravanam continues, what does the Guru do? He says, Tat Jagat Karanam Brahma Tvam Asi. Yeah? Now there is a jump. The Guru is the Shishya that Brahma, which is Jagat Karanam, that is your true nature. Tvam Asi. Yeah? Now, that which was Prathama Purusha, third person, has become Madhyama Purusha, second person, you. Yeah? So when the Shishya first hears that, then, it's like a jerk. Now, how am I to digest this fact that Jagat Karanam creator is me? That is my true identity. And hence, the Shishya has to do a lot of mananam. We saw mananam is churning over the mantras in the mind. Even Gita shlokas or Upanishad mantras, when we reflect upon them again and again, yeah, that is the mananam. And clarifying the doubts like Arjuna does in the Gita. Keeps asking questions, at almost every chapter. then the doubts get clarified, and then the student can do Nididhyasanam. So we are now seeing the Nididhyasanam mantras. That is the last stage where the student is able to own up the vision. And he says, yes, tepyaha vilakshanaha. I am distinct from the three abodes of Atman. Yeah, that is Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. I am neither Vishwaha, Taijasaha, Pragnyaha. I am Advayam Brahma Asmi. So now that Tvam has made another jump and become Aham. Yeah, so from 18 onwards, we saw that the student is answering in the Uttama Purushaha. Aham Advayam Brahma Asmi. So that which was initial stages of Shravanam, which was remote and abstract, has made a jump, and now it has come so close that I can see that that is my reality. Yeah. So that is the Aparoksha Jnanam. Aparoksha is a very important word in Vedanta. What is Paroksha? Paroksha means remote, like the stars or the sun. But that same knowledge, by the grace of the Guru, has become Aparoksha. Aparoksha means na paroksha. It is not distanced anymore. It is right here and now, 24/7. This is my true identity. And this is the affirmation or declaration of Ashvalayana. Yeah. So you see that such a clarity of vision can only come after a systematic and dedicated process of Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Yeah. So if there is commitment, definitely the vision of the Shastras by the grace of the Guru, we can enjoy that as Jnana Phalam. Yeah. Now, what is the Jnana Phalam? Some people will ask, if I study Vedanta, will the problems disappear? So we know by now that they are going to continue. The problems will continue and very much there. But what will happen is that you discover that you are much, much bigger. You are in fact limitless compared to what you are going through. The situation or the challenge or the adversity or the problems of samsara, that belongs to one of the three states. That's not you. Yeah? You are the limitless Brahma. Yeah? So then what is my understanding? Look at the shift in the world view, world perception, world attitude. Yeah. So all the problems belong to those three worlds. Yeah. The problem belongs to the role. Yeah. But I'm not the role. I'm just playing the role. Yeah. So I am free from the conflicts and the disputes and the challenges. They all belong to Anatma. When I think that, I was born a few decades ago and I will die one day. Shastra says, no, you were never born. Ajaha, you are Amrityahu. What was never born can never die. Yeah. So there is a negation right there. Then if I feel helpless in some situation, again, the Shastra will say, no, helplessness and, an unfortunate feeling of misery, that belongs to the mind, but not to you. You are vilakshanaha. Yeah. You are distinct. So this vision or this jnanam, Atma Jnanam, gives one the space. Yeah. The space between I, Atma, and the roles and the situations of my life. Yeah. So when there is the gap, there is the space, then I will not be so entangled in that particular situation. I will be relaxed and at peace. Yadeva bhavati tadeva mangalaya. Yeah? So you see, this is the jnana phalam, which comes from the clarity of vision and which results from prolonged and dedicated Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. And Upanishad study is definitely not easy. It is intense. Yeah? And that is why most people would prefer the Gita study. Yeah. And Gita is also an Upanishad, Gita Upanishad. Yeah. But it is more easy because it talks about the way of life and the vision here and there. But the lofty vision of the Upanishads is very, very direct, as we have been seeing in these mantras. Yeah? So now let us continue with the next mantra. 20. Okay. Are you able to? Anoraniyanahamev tatvat.
अनोरणीयानहमेव तद्वद्
Let me do that again. Anoraniyanahamev tatvat.
अनोरणीयानहमेव तद्वद्
Mahanaham vishwamaham vichitram.
महानहं विश्वमहं विचित्रम्
Puratanoham purushohamishah.
पुरातनोऽहं पुरुषोऽहमीशः
Hiranmayoham shivarupamasmi.
हिरण्मयोऽहं शिवरूपमस्मि
Anoraniyanahamev tatvat. Mahanaham vishwamaham vichitram.
अनोरणीयानहमेव तद्वद् महानहं विश्वमहं विचित्रम्
Puratanoham purushohamishah. Hiranmayoham shivarupamasmi.
पुरातनोऽहं पुरुषोऽहमीशः हिरण्मयोऽहं शिवरूपमस्मि.
So in mantra 20, further, there is clarification about the Atma topic. Anoraniyan ahameva. Anoho aniyan ahameva. Tatvat mahan aham. Vishwam aham. Vichitram. Puratanaha aham. Purushaha aham. Ishaha aham, obviously. Hiranmayaha aham. Shiva Rupam Asmi. Everything in Uttama Purusha. I. So this is that the higher I that we saw in the Gita also. Principle of pure consciousness. Brahma is being talked about. Yeah. What is the nature of that I? The first line, it is said, it is Anoho Aniyan. See, Anu. Anu means atomic. Yeah, very subtlemost particle. Nowadays, there are even quarks and subatomic particles. So, Anu is something very subtle, like an atom. So, Anoho Aniyan Aham Eva. Yeah. I, the Atma, am subtler, Aniyan, than Anu. Yeah. Anoho Aniyan Aham Eva. Aham, I'm subtler than the subtlemost Atma. Tatvat, and equally Mahan Aham. So Mahan here is big, yeah, and I am the largest entity you can think about. Yeah. So now the Upanishad, often you will have mantras which are like paradoxical. You know, how can Aham be the most subtle and the greatest in dimension? It can only happen if that Aham is everything. So what this mantra says is the Atma shines in something so tiny like an ant or an atom, atomic subparticle, and it reflects in the greatest like a mountain or a huge planet like Jupiter. It is shining in all of them and in between also, in the smallest and subtlemost particles and in the greatest entities and in between the whole range of matter. Aham. Yeah. So we conclude that Aham is limitlessly big. It is all pervading, like space. You know, the space can be in a small pot and the space fills up the whole universe. Yeah, that is the nature of Aham. Then he continues by saying, Aham Vichitram Vishwam. You know, this Vishwam, the world is so Vichitram, wondrous, infinite plurality is there, Nama Rupas, laws and functions. No, what a range of lokas and species. Yeah, then here it says that this wondrous, diverse universe I am, which means again, I am the underlining adharam for each and every nama rupa that is appearing. Yeah, adharam, the base, just like the gold manifests in innumerable golden ornaments. So aham vichitram vishwam, I am the satyam which is upholding the nama rupa kriyatmakam mithya jagat. Mithya is what again? Dependent reality. Yeah. So the world of names and forms depend on aham satyam for its existence. You know, we have seen this earlier. Satyam, Atma is the Karanam and Mithya Jagat is the Karyam. That is the first line. Then second line, he says, Aham. What else is this Aham? Puratanaha. Puratanaha means ancient. Yeah. But if you analyze the word, it is Pura Api Navaha. It is most ancient and yet ever new. Pura Api Navaha. Yeah. So that means it is what? Nityam. Yeah. Pura Aham Puratana. So that Atma, Aham Atma is ancient. Ancient means ageless. You know, we think that we were born on a certain date and we have a birthday and a nakshatram and a gotra. But Shastra says no. You were present even before you were born. Where was I before I was born? In the womb of the mother. And before that, in the fluids, you know, assimilated by the parents. And before that, in the crops. And before that, in the clouds, which have rained and formed the food eaten by the parents. And that assimilated food becomes the cause for birth. So that is the meaning of Puratanaha. Aham Atma, birthless and deathless, ancient but ever new. Ever new. In the sense it's Nityam. Yeah, it is permanent. Then Purushaha. Aham Purushaha is the next word for Aham. Now Purushaha also we have seen. So Purushaha is not male here, but Purushaha means there are two ways of understanding. Purayati sarvam iti Purushaha. That which has filled up everything. The entire Jagat. Yeah, this is mantra we say in the end. Na Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. So just imagine the Purnam is infinite. So if you remove some finite number from infinity remains. If you add, infinity remains. You know, so that is the nature of Purushaha. Purayati sarvam. It is everywhere. It is all pervading. And the second meaning given is Puri Shete iti Purushaha. Shete means indwells. So in the Gita is going to talk about how the body is a 9-gated city. You know, there are 7 gates in the head portion itself, apertures, you know, gateways, and 2 underneath. So the one who is indwelling the 9-gated city is the Purusha. So Aham Purusha. Then what? Aham Ishaha. Ishaha means the Lord. You know, Isha is understood as a master or a ruler. Now, ruler in the sense that it is the Atma's blessing. In the blessing and presence of Atma, everything happens. You see, in the nature, everything is happening as though they are following the divine command of a Isha. The wind blows, the waters flow, sun rises, moon shines, earth is spinning. Right now there is thunder here in Secunderabad. How is all this happening? They are following the divine command of a Isha. And here the student says, Aham Ishaha. And the same ruler is governing all the functions of the body, the mind, you know, and all the events and situations, everything is happening in the presence of Ishaha. So Aham Ishaha. No? In the Katha Upanishad, there is a wonderful analogy, how this Atma is like a Raja, a Maharaja. So in a Maharaja Sabha, the Maharaja will come and just sit on the throne. And then what will happen? In the Sabha, all the people, the ministers and the staff, they will all discuss the administration, the matters of the kingdom. They will draft resolutions, pass bills, discuss. All the activities happen just because there is a Raja, the presence. That is the meaning of Isha. So Atma is like the Isha in whose presence all the Anatmas are blessed and they perform their activities. Yeah? Then what else is Aham Hiranmayaha? Hiranmayaha we know is golden. Yeah? Hiranmayim Lakshmi. So Hiranmaya is golden. So Aham, Atma is golden. Not literally, of course, because gold is after all matter and Atma is not matter. Here we have to take the meaning of shining. Yeah, Atma is shining. It is self-luminous. Yeah, self-luminous and self-effulgent. Now we say Atma Jyoti. We have seen how the Atma blesses the mind blesses the sense organs, and then perception can happen. Yeah, so it is the light of all the lights, and that is referred to as Hiranmayaha. Then finally, Aham Shivaha. Shiva Rupam Asmi. Shiva stands for that which is sacred, pure, and auspicious. Yeah, and here it is taken to be Ananda Swarupaha. In Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat we have already seen. Sat is pure existence. Chit is the nature of knowledge. And now Ananda. Shivarupa means Ananda. But that Ananda is covered by my mind. And that is why I don't feel the Ananda all the time. But here the student says, Aham Shivarupam Asmi. So you see how many words he explains the Aham. Yeah, I'm subtler than the subtlemost. I'm there in the subtle things like an ant or a stone or an atom, as well as in huge objects, Mahan, yeah, covering the whole range. I am the entire world. I am Puratanaha, ancient but Nityam. I am Purushaha, Ishaha, Hiranmayaha, Shivarupam. Yeah. So a lot of words there to contemplate upon. Then the next shloka, mantra number 21. Apani padoham achintya shaktihi.
Apani padoham achintya shaktihi.
Pashyamya chakshus shrinomya karnaha.
Pashyamya chakshus shrunomya karnaha.
Aham vijanami vivikta rupaha.
Aham vijanami vivikta rupaha.
Nachasti vetta mama chit sadaham.
Nachasti vetta mama chit sadaham.
Apani padoham achintya shaktihi. Pashyamya chakshus shrinomya karnaha.
Apani padoham achintya shaktihi. Pashyamya chakshusya shrunomya karnaha.
Aham vijanami vivikta rupaha. Nachasti vetta mama chit sadaham.
Aham vijanami vivikta rupaha. Nachasti vetta mama chit sadaham.
So here, further, it's talking about the nature of Atma. Atma is apani padaha aham. Pani padaha we know, legs and hands, feet. Pani is hands and feet. Apani padaha. This aham, atma, is without limbs, without hands and legs. And yet what? Achintya Shaktihi. Achintya Shaktihi means unimaginable power, the divine Shakti. In fact, this is what we are celebrating in in the Navaratri days, the Achintya Shakti of Parameshwara, Parashakti. So, Apani Padaha Aham Achintya Shaktihi. So, this power of Ishvara that regulates day and night, seasons, and the entire nature, and food, everything. That is the nature of Ishvara. Normally, when we use our hands and legs to demonstrate some strength, that is a limited strength of Anatma. But here, the Atma is the one that is blessing the power in our legs and hands. Even to raise my hand, how many muscles are active? And so that is the Parashakti mentioned here, how everything functions in the Samashti, macro level and micro level by the Shakti of Ishvara. And here the student says that Nirguna Parabrahma is Nirakara, does not have limbs, hands or legs, but it is endowed with Achintya Shakti. Then what else? Pashyami Achakshuhu. I see. Pashyami Achakshuhu. So I don't have eyes. See, you have to imagine it's Atma is, there is a discussion about Atma. Atma does not have eyes, Achakshuhu, but sees. How does it see? As a Sakshi. Like little children, how they will draw the sun. They will draw the sun and they will put eyes on the sun, right? Eyes and nose. So the sun is called Jagat Chakshuhu. The sun is perceiving everything, is the witness of the whole world. There is no darkness in the sun. So like that, aham, I don't have physical eyes, but I see because I am the Sakshi. I am the witnessing awareness. And this also means that aham is the power by which I see. And the next word also, saha shrinomi akarnaha. Same logic. Aham atma does not have ears, akarnaha, but shrinomi, I listen. So extended to any and every function, the power in the hands to grasp, in the feet to walk, in the nose to smell, in the eyes to see, ears to hear. All these are happening by the Achintya Shakti of Ishvara. This is in Kena Upanishad, we saw this. The student asks, how, by what power does the mind think, eyes see, ears hear, nose smell, speech happens? And then the Guru replies, Chakshushaha Chakshuhu, Shrotrasya Shrotram, Vacho hi Vachaha, Manasaha Manaha. That Aham Atma is the eye of the eye, ear of the ear, mind of the mind, prana of the prana. So this is why it is said that Atma is like the order, the presence, the invisible presence, which is making every activity happen. That is the gist of the first line. Then aham vijanami. Vijanami means I know, I understand. So the aham atma is jnana swarupaha, is the pure knowledge. When I say that I know this, anything like this paper, I know this paper, then actually it is Atma which is illuminating my mind, and my mind is illuminating my eyes, and the eyes are perceiving the paper. So who's actually knowing and seeing? Atma. Atma is the ultimate seer, ultimate knower, ultimate hearer. So aham vijanami. Then vivikta rupaha. Aham vivikta rupa. Vivikta means distinct or separate. Yeah. I am distinct from all. Yeah? All what? I am distinct from BMW, the Anatma BMW. Atma is distinct principle from Anatma body, Anatma mind, Anatma possessions, Anatma world, Anatma anything and everything in the Jagat. Yeah, that is the Vivikta Rupaha. Then Nacha Asti Veta Mama. Nacha Asti means, but there is no Mama Veta. So Atma is all this, but nobody can know the Atma. There is no knower of Atma. Yeah. It's like, Atma is saying nobody can know me. Why? Because Atma is not an object, it's not a thing. It is not available for the mind, not available for the senses. It is Ashabdam, Asparsham, Arupam, Arasam, Agandham. We have seen this before. Yeah? So Atma is not available as, I would understand a fact, like, fact in physics. One of the laws, we know action and reaction are equal and opposite. I know this. Yeah? What is the speed of the free fall? I know that also. Yeah? But we cannot know Atma like this. So Atma na cha asti veta mama. Then we'll be wondering, okay, then why are we studying Upanishads and Gita? Why are we studying about Atma which cannot be known? So the answer is, it cannot be known as an object, but it is to be known as the subject, as me, the principle of I. And how will I know that? It can be known by a very subtle, sukshma, calm, steady, purified mind. Yeah. In the deep meditation, one knows oneself as that distinct principle of pure consciousness, which is distinct from Anatma. So that is why here it is said, but nobody can know me as an object. Yeah? Then what else? Chit sada aham. Yeah, I am Chit. What is Chit? Chit is consciousness, pure consciousness. Chit. Jnana Swarupaha. So that Atma is to be understood as being, as presence. Pujya Swamiji would use the word order. You see how there is like an invisible presence and cosmic intelligence which is governing everything, which is watching everything. Yeah, that is the Nirguna Tat Brahma. And that the student says, that is Chit, that is Anandaha, that is Sat, and Sada Aham. That is my true nature. Yeah? Now, next one more mantra we'll do, 22nd. We can see the Achintya Shakti right now in Secunderabad. Very heavy rains, thunder and lightning. Achintya Shakti of Ishvara. Okay, number 22. Vede vedairaneikairahameva vedyaha.
वेदैरनेकैरहमेव वेद्यः
Vedairaneikairahameva vedyaha.
वेदैरनेकैरहमेव वेद्यः
Vedanta-krit veda-videv chaham.
वेदान्तकृत्वेदविदेव चाहम्
न punya-pape mama nasti nashah.
न पुण्यपापे मम नास्ति नाशः
न जन्म देहेन्द्रिय बुद्धिरस्ति
न जन्म देहेन्द्रिय बुद्धिरस्ति
न भूमिरापो न च वह्निरस्ति
न भूमिरापो न च वह्निरस्ति
न चानिलो मेऽस्ति न चाम्बरं च
न चानिलो मेऽस्ति न चाम्बरं च
Once again, वेदैरनेकैरहमेव वेद्यः वेदान्तकृद्वेदविदेव चाहम्
वेदैरनेकैरहमेव वेद्यः वेदान्तकृद्वेदविदेव चाहम्
न पुण्यपापे मम नास्ति नाशः न जन्म देहेन्द्रिय बुद्धिरस्ति
न पुण्यपापे मम नास्ति नाशः न जन्म देहेन्द्रिय बुद्धिरस्ति
न भूमिरापो न च वह्निरस्ति न चानिलो मेऽस्ति न चाम्बरं च
न भूमिरापो न च वह्निरस्ति न चानिलो मेऽस्ति न चाम्बरं च
Thank you. So, Vedaihi Anekaihi Ahameva Vedyah. So some of you would be reminded of one Gita shloka, the senior students. In chapter 15, Purushottama Yoga, 15 chapter, 15 shloka is taken from this. Sarvasya chaham riti sannivishtaha matta smriti jnanam apohanancha vedaisya sarvairahameva vedyah. There is the shloka in the Gita. So this is the origin, the Shruti mantra. Vedehi anekehi ahameva vedyah. So here, aham, that is Atma, is vedyah. Atma is to be known, is the subject matter of anekehi vedehi. All the Vedas, what is the main topic and only topic? Aham. And aham is Brahma. Vedaihi anekaihi ahameva vedyah. Subject matter to be known in all the Vedas. See, even the Karma Kanda of the Vedas talks about lot of karma phalam, right? If you do this, you will get that. There also, aham is the topic, but not Brahma aham. Aham as the giver of results, karma phala data. So in the Karma Kanda, aham is the karma phala data. And in the Upanishad Jnana Kanda portion, aham is all about Nirguna Brahma. So Vedehi Anekehi Ahameva Vedyah. Then what? Vedanta Krit, Vedanta Vit, Eva Cha Aham. So what else am I? Atma is Vedanta Krit. Vedanta Krit means the author of the Vedas, and Vedanta Vit means knower of the Vedas, which can be the teacher and the student. See, we are all studying the Vedas right now. So the Vedas have been authored by whom? Ishvara. Apaurishaya Pramana. We saw that in the first class. How the Vedas are the only Pramana to know and understand Atma. None of the other Pramanas. Pratyaksha, Anumanam, Anupalabdhi, those 5 Pramanas we saw. So, Ishvara's mind is like as though downloaded into the minds of the rishis. But that is the Vedanta Krit. I am the author and I am the knower. Knower means the one who is teaching the Vedas, a guru, and the one who's studying is also, who will eventually know it. Vedanta Vid Cha Aham. So this is the topic all the way. Very loud. You have to think of Arjuna. So, very intense rains. Anyway, Yeah, so I am the topic, I am the subject matter. I am to be known in all the Vedas. Yeah, and I am the author, the composer of Upanishads, and I am also the student receiving the knowledge. Then second line is na punya pape mama nasti. So for the Atma, there is no punyam, no papam. And there is no nashaha. There is no destruction. Yeah? Destruction means there is no death. Why? Because na janma. There is no janma. Ajo nitya shashvato yam puranaha na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So when there is no janma, there is no mrityu. And when there is no janma mrityu, there is no papa punyam, there is no punarjanma. That is the meaning here. And na janma deha indriya buddhihi asti. All these things are also not there for Atma. What are all these? There is no body. There is no sense organs, indriya. There is no buddhi. So Atma is nirakara. There are no limbs for the Atma. Atma is partless. Tad brahma nishkalamaham na cha bhuta sanghaha. Adi Shankaracharya says in the Pratasmarana Stotram that all these derivatives of the Pancha Mahabhutas, body, mind, sense organs, these don't belong to me. They are anatma, matter principle. I am distinct. Yeah? And the last line, na bhumihi apaha na cha vannihi asti. Na cha anilaha me asti. Na cha ambaram cha. Very big storm. This is the Divine Mother Shakti. So, I can't hear myself, that loud it is. So, the last line of this last mantra today negates all the Pancha Mahabhutas. Yeah, that is Bhumi, earth, Apaha, waters, Vannihi, fire, Anilaha, wind, Ambaram, space. They do not belong to me. I am distinct from the 5 elements. Yeah. We have seen in Tattva Bodha how the 5 elements, they combine to form the body, mind, sense organs, anatma. But here we are talking about aham atma. So atma is distinct from the Pancha Mahabhutas, the Pancha Bhautikam Jagat, and all the derivatives. Yeah. So na bhumihi apo na cha vannihi asti na cha anilaha me asti na cha ambaram. All these are not there for me. So you see how the Shastra will negate a lot of things. You know, there is no body, no sense organs, no mind, no janma, no papa, punya, punarjanma, mrityu, none of the Pancha Mahabhutas. Yeah. So what is there is Atma. Yeah? So this is called the Neti Prakriya. Na iti, na iti. Yeah? Na cha bhuta sangaha. Yeah? So I think we'll close with this mantra. But before we close, see our common anubhava experience is what? That Atma is engaged in so many actions. Like right now, as Atma, I appear to be speaking, you are listening, yeah? And then so many actions are happening, yeah, in the world. But actually, the Shastra says when you think deeply, you come to the conclusion that the body is moving, yeah? The mouth is speaking, ears are listening, but there is somebody, some presence that is watching all this. There is a sakshitvam, sakshi, avasthatraya sakshi, which is the observer, which illumines the 3 worlds. Right now, which is listening to the talk of the Swamini. Yeah? And then also there is the Atma who's observing, the listening for you. So listening is happening, talking is happening, eating, digestion, movement, all these actions are happening in Anatma. But as Atma, there is no action. There is simply pure awareness. This is what we saw in the Gita, the famous shloka number 18. How can we forget that? Karmanya karmaya pashet akarmani cha karmayaha. The Buddhiman, the wise jnani, sees that Sakshi is akarma. No? Sakshi is the ever observer, that which illumines, that which is distinct as the witness. And all the actions are happening in the matter principle. No? So this is the Viveka. No? So I'm reminded of one incident of related to the life of Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi. You all know, he was born a Siddha Purusha, no? And who was meditating in Tiruvannamalai for 50 years and just absorbed in that, Sakshi or Arunachala. Then one day, so many visitors would come, and we know that what it is like to be in the presence of a Mahatma like Puja Swamiji or Ramana Maharishi. When you just sit in their sanidhyam, or even I would say enter the ashram, you feel immediately peaceful and comforted and relaxed. Yeah. So there are always visitors to ashrams for this purpose, and to get solutions or answers to the Vyavaharika problems, Then Ramana Maharishi would always answer the questions with a question. He would say, ask, who are you? And you will get the answer. That's it. So the Vedanta Vichara is all about inquiring, who am I? Am I this jiva associated with the body, mind, sense complex? Or am I distinct from all this? So right now we are seeing the mantras describing how distinct the Atma is from all this Anatma. So one day, one couple had come and stayed in the Ramana Maharishi's ashram. They were, I think, from Australia, some foreign country. Then after a period of maybe 1 month or 2 months, when they had to leave and depart, that wife was in tears, I can understand that because I used to go to Ramana Ashram every year for maybe 10 years and stay 1 month there every year. So it's a very beautiful ashram, and then you do Girivalam, and then you go up to the caves, and the prasadam is excellent there. So when you enjoy so much peace, in the ashram, who would not feel sad? So the lady was crying that she has to leave Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi and back to go home. And then you know what Ramana Maharishi said to her? He said, Amma, I will just ask you to think about one thing. Just think about, are you in Tiruvannamalai or is Tiruvannamalai in you? That is the question Bhagavan asked them to think about. That's it. Are you both in Tiruvannamalai or is Tiruvannamalai in you? Yeah. So a little contemplation on this fact would show that what Bhagavan Ramana meant is that this time and space oriented Tiruvannamalai is a piece of land. Yeah. But Atma is all inclusive. If you understand the truth of Atma, it covers the whole Jagat, all the planets, all the continents, all the lokas. Everything is in Atma. So why did Bhagavan tell her that? To make her understand that you are never away from Tiruvannamalai. If you experience the bliss of Tiruvannamalai in your Atma, then how can you be sad? It is there with you all the time. So that was a very Vedantic response to her, question. Okay. Now, I would like to just chant these last 3 mantras. I will do it on my own. 20 onwards. अणोरणीयानहमेव तद्वत् महानहं विश्वमहं विचित्रम् पुरातनोऽहं पुरुषोऽहमीशः हिरण्मयोऽहं शिवरूपमस्मि अपाणिपादोऽहमचिन्त्य शक्तिः पश्याम्य चक्षुः शृणोम्य कर्णः अहं विजानामि विविक्तरूपः न चास्ति वेत्ता मम चित् सदाहम् वेदैरनैकैरहमेव वेद्यः वेदान्तकृत् वेदविदेव चाहं न पुण्यपापे मम नास्ति नाशः न जन्मदेहेन्द्रियबुद्धिरस्ति न भूमिरापो न च वह्निरस्ति न चानिलो मेऽस्ति न चाम्बरं च ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ तत्सत्।